race number 8 headed to the new Lime Rock Park in Connecticut for the running of the ShopRite 350. It's a brand new road course this season. It's very short, but it's really wide in turns, and we expect to see some great racing here today. Nick Alton of the number 40 took the green on the pole, and on his outside was the 26 Johnny Garner. The action started right away for these drivers as they still stuck side by side heading down to the first couple corners. If you haven't watched any of NSCRA videos, you know Lime Rock Park is a favorite road course of Christopher Pierce, aka the guy who runs the NSCRA leagues. No need to mention his leagues, but if you haven't seen him, go check them out after you're done checking out Pole Cup Series. He's a really awesome YouTuber. Anyway, Jordan Davis battling for second against Johnny Garner as Nick Alton, the pole setter, pulled away already on the halfway through the first lap, and Jordan Davis went on to take the second spot away from Garner. Now he's catching up on the number 40 machine. It's going to have to take him a lot of horsepower to get there. Since this is a road course, it takes kind of a while for some of these road courses to show their real potential. Anyway, first lap of the race, Angel Navarro, Joshua Balkin got loose on one of the corners down the corner, and they tried to get back up to speed, but they weren't able to. And they never were able to because they got a lot of tree, leaves, and debris all over their cars. An onboard look of Navarro shows that he went really off course, and so is the 97 Joshua Balkin. Balkin also went off course. Another wreck happened. Roman Rahal, Sean Harple both got into a spin on those corners too. It's lost in the trees. I know the trees block the view. It's the best really I could do for these wrecks. But despite two wrecks happening on the first corners of the race, there you see Nathan Hudson was also involved in them as well. Despite those two wrecks, by the way, no caution was pulled for some reason. That was the only time pretty much that any driver was in any real danger. Well, there was one other time, but we'll get to that later. But there was not really any danger on the track. As you see, Leia Walker takes the position away, a top 5 position. Navarro and Balkin still have not gone out of the track by the time Nick Alton passed them and lapped them going on the outside. Here's another view of them. As you see back there, as you see Jordan Davis battling for the lead against Nick Alton. 30 over 40 as Alton went a little too high on the corner, and Jordan Davis went on to take the lead. Our first lead change of the race at just 5 laps into the race. Jordan Davis takes the lead away from the 40 Nick Alton. Took him a little while to get there, but he did it. Tristan Folks in the 75, for some reason came into pit earlier than everybody else. But he came out like pit road a lap down. But he didn't let Leia Walker for a while get past, so Leia can clear for third, and Leia can still compete for the win. And now Leia Walker would have to find her own way up to the front. As you see, she had to pass the 75 on her own to take back to third, as Folks was a lap down. There wasn't really a lot of battles up front, but there were a lot of battles in the back. As you see, R.J. Bishop and the 5 James Shelley were battling side by side for the position. It's not in the top 10 maybe, but still a battle for positions. Like I said, not much battles in the front, but in the back, he sure had a lot of battles at Lime Rock Park. That's the beauty of Lime Rock Park. There's a lot of passing in there, despite not much from the leaders. There's a lot of good racing. It's never too boring. Even the back drivers don't make the race too boring. As you see, 25 miles gone in front. We got another battle position right here, Ian Dutta and the 41 Stephen Polar III battling for that position. I think this is for the top 10 spot. And there's Ezekiel Marley catching up as well in behind. Dylan Thoreau went on to pass the 44 James Shelley for another position as well. This is just the drivers in the middle, but they're still doing a pretty good race. Still trying to fight like it really means something, even though there's no points in the Pole Cup Series. I don't know if I had said this before, but earlier this season, but there are no points in the NASCAR Pole Cup Series until the chase races, and the chasers will get the points. Only the chasers get the points after the World Course Tour 12. So there is no point system for the rest of the way except for the chase, but it's just racing, so it's pretty much just win and get into the chase. That's pretty much all there is to it. Anyway, you see Polar dropping back. The 41 struggling here at Lime Rock Park, as you see Jordan Newman trying to battle for position against him, but ultimately Polar would make it out alive. He got a good run off Newman. Newman got a little too high, and he keeps the run. Anyway, here's our tour with just 11 laps to go. Here's a tour around Lime Rock Park. As you see, a lot of tight corners, not a lot of room for error, by the way. It's a small track for a road course like this. It's a short and small track road course, whatever, and it's a lot of treacherous turns, a lot of tight turns you need to make here in Connecticut. A bit of a cloudy day out in the Connecticut skies, but nevertheless, we still have some great racing there. No rain came down, by the way. Thank goodness it didn't happen. There you see, passing through the couple trees, the many trees here in Lime Rock Park. If you spin out there, be very careful with that. And hello, Nick Alton. He just made the pass on Jordan Davis for the lead. We were on board with Jordan Davis, and guess what? Nick Alton took the lead again with 10 laps to go. These drivers in the front row were pretty much mostly competing for that. Well, mostly competing for the lead. There were no other real challengers other than those two challengers coming into the front. My apologies if I'm not myself today. I just had a big meal after recording. And it probably is not a great idea. But anyway, Nick Alton took the lead on that one with just 10 laps to go over Jordan Davis. No match for Jordan Davis, by the way, in that front. Tristan Folks in the 75. Even though he's not on the lead lap, he's still battling like he's trying to get the win. As he gets past Jordan Davis, makes him harder for Davis to catch up to the 40 and retake the lead. Again, Folks was a lap down. He still is a lap down, and he's competing like he wants to win a race. Not sure why he's doing that. I guess he's trying to distract the leaders or something. Like trying to make the leaders a lot difficult at Lime Rock than it already is. And to add insult to injury, Tristan Folks made the pass on Nick Alton. He passes Nick Alton to probably get his lap back. He just pulled away from everybody else. That does leave Nick Alton vulnerable to any other drivers coming in, the back. Another lap car making chaos. Angel Navarro up in the front. He had a pit. He did come to pit road. He made it out through those trees and found pit road. He lost a couple laps, but he's getting back up to speed even though he's down a couple laps. And as you see, the 28 Mason Powers getting the second position from Jordan Davis. Davis's progress was slow thanks to the lap car of Folks, but he was able to make a comeback there. It went on to be a battle for the lead. As you see, the 40 Nick Altendorf had to come down pit road, so did Jordan Davis. The 28 Powers took the lead, but he would have to come down pit road as well. And Leia Walker, who was running second at the time, had to come down too. There you see the 28 Mason Powers coming down pit road. He's just finishing up his spot. As you see on the top right of your screen, Nick Alton, who pitted earlier, coming down with a stripe, trying to take the lead from the 28 to the front. And he does. He just takes the lead easily, despite having pit road exit being very fast speeds that they could quickly catch up to the leaders. But despite that, Nick Alton took the lead. Never really lost it until, well, that was the only major threat he had throughout the entire race. There you see a battle between Johnny Gardner and Tristan Folks, who, by the way, moved up to second. Yes, Folks actually moved up on the lead lap to second after pit stops. Hard to believe he was a lap down earlier. Now he's on the lead lap competing for a top 5. Dylan Thoreau is also competing for a top 5. He's moving up to the ranks as he now takes the third position away. And Tristan Folks had to come down pit road. His early pit stop strategy did not pay off for him at the end. He had to come down for a second time. But these drivers will only come down once, and they were good to go till the very end. Another battle for position, another really interesting battle for position right here. The 2 Dion Scott gets from the 23, as Dion Scott trying to find a line to make the pass on that 23 machine. I think that's Kyle Thomas in the camel car. Whoa, 3-wide battle with Kate Culp, Zeke Marley, and, well, Mitchell Riggs. Riggs was able to win it before any major threat occurred. There you see the 77 Kyle Singer. He's moving up to the top 5 as he passes through Jordan Davis in that position with just 2 laps to go. Dion Scott went on to pass Jordan Davis later on. Davis struggling now at Lime Rock Park. He was at his highest. He was leading a couple laps earlier, but now Jordan Davis might be dropping out of the top 5 at the end of this race. Anyway, white flag came out for Nick Alton with 1 to go. His pit stop strategy gave him a 3-second lead over everybody else, over second place Johnny Gardner. It was pretty much a dominant day for the pole sitter Nick Alton, despite some few hiccups along the way. Jordan Davis and Mason Powers led a couple laps, so it wasn't really a dominating day for our pole sitter. But it looks like the pole sitter's luck in the road course will continue to rise, and he might be the first pole sitter to win a race this season. We didn't have a single caution in the race, which was very surprising considering a road course like this. But coming up, final couple corners, Nick Alton, the driver formerly known as Nick Altendorf, is going to get his first win of season 13 here at Lime Rock Park in the Connecticut ShopRite 350. So Nick Altendorf dominated most of the day, had a few hiccups along the way like I said, but he went on to cruise his way up to the victory by 3 seconds over his runner-up Johnny Gardner. Dylan Thoreau, Mason Powers, and Kyle Singer rounded out the top 5. Jordan Davis dropped to 7th as Dion Scott moved to 6th. And the rest of the field, you see the only lapped cars were Angel Navarro and Joshua Balkin. Nicholas Guerrero retired. I did mention that other driver had problems here at Lime Rock, and there was Nicholas Guerrero, our champion last season. This was happening with just 5 laps to go on pit stop. He was going to get on pit road, and then he got sandwiched between the 94 of Austin LaPlante for some reason. And then he flips on his side, and he would have to magically teleport to pit road. His day was over then and there, so he was the only retiree the entire race. Tough break for our champion. Anyway, next race is a new track at Sebring, the Busch Gardens 400 from Tampa Bay. See you then.